This is the smartest route any Forex trader can take to make their first $10,000 in a month. And no, I'm not kidding. Thousands of traders all around the world are already using this simple method. And today, I'll be giving you the secrets to do so as well. The first step to believing you can make your first $10,000 in Forex trading is simply believing that you actually can. Because if you don't believe you can make that type of money trading, then you won't approach the rest of this video with the intensity needed. Because this video isn't just some get-rich scam video. It's a process, and if you believe the process will pay off, you will stay committed. Now, the second step is not super flashy. You have to learn the basics of trading. You need to spend a week or two just going over all the different terminologies, setting up all the accounts you need to set up, and learning how to use the platforms you're going to be using to trade. Once you have a firm understanding of all the basics, you have the account set up, then move on to step number 3. Now, step number 3 is learning a simple strategy that you can be consistent with. Most people, when they first start trading, they start looking up all these strategy videos, all of these complex concepts, thinking they need to know all of these different things, and ultimately all it does is paralyze and confuse them. What if I told you you could make your first $10,000 in a month trading with no indicators and no knowledge of smart money concepts or anything like that? Because you can. The key is just simply understanding how price moves, learning a simple support and resistance strategy, and staying consistent. Now I'm going to share my screen and show you guys a simple strategy that you can use to make your first $10,000 a month trading. When it comes to being profitable in the Forex market, you don't need some extravagant strategy that's going to give you a 1-to-30 risk to reward ratio where every trade has high stress, all these different things. All you need is a very, very simple strategy that I'm about to lay out right here. And so what I do, this is literally how I trade. It's so simple. You guys are going to think there's no way it's possible. Look here, I start on the 4-hour. And the very first thing I'm doing is, one, I'm paying attention to the trend. So obviously I know, we were trending up, then we had a breakout, which we started going to the downwards. Now we started having a slight pullback, but it seems like instead of pulling back to go higher, we're actually pulling back to start on this downtrend. So what does that tell me? That tells me that sells are probably going to be a little bit more optimal and a little bit more profitable right now. However, what does this actually mean for us? So what this means is now I'm going to start looking for support and resistance areas. So I'm not going to fine tune them right now. I'm just going to very quickly put the ones that I can quickly see. And one thing to note, guys, if price is down here, you really don't even need to put this one up here until later. But so I'm just going to go ahead and move this down. We're probably looking at somewhere right in here. And, if you really wanted to, there's a small one right here that we can add in. Now, this might sound crazy. I'm not going to optimize them at all. I'm actually just going to go down a time frame, because when I go down a time frame, I now have a lot more information. I can see what price is doing. A lot of you guys go down a time frame and then you start adding more zones. A lot of times you don't even need to do that because price is, doing something similar across multiple time frames. So I try to see past the noise, and I try not to have 30 different support resistance zones on different time frames. And I just try to ask myself, what is price doing? So right here, now I'm just going to fine tune these areas, and I can see like this. And you notice how I'm not putting it at just the very top at the top wick. If I were to put one up here, I'd probably put it somewhere in this area, because this is what price is actually doing. I want you guys to not think of support and resistance as the highest ceiling or the lowest floor, but as what is price doing at this area. And around this area, price is really doing something like this, and then so on and so on. So now if I really quickly just go through, now these aren't going to be perfect because I'm going to try to keep this quick for the video, but all of these zones, what you're going to want to do is you're going to find out what is price really doing in these areas. Okay, so boom, something around there kind of makes sense. I probably bring it up a little bit. Again, I typically spend about 10 to 15 minutes doing this, just making sure support and resistance are optimal, because it is the foundation of the strategy. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to go a little quick here. So they might not be 100% optimal, but okay, price right now, and this is the one I'm going to be very, very keen on, because this is where price is at currently. So I know somewhere up in this level makes sense. I need to figure out where I want to put this bottom part, because this is going to be very key. And I think something like this makes sense. Sometimes if I'm not super confident, because there's not a lot of information, I'll pull it back and see what happened in the past, because humans trade these markets, and a lot of times we tend to repeat patterns and repeat ourselves. That's how we're able to predict these markets in the first place. So I'm comfortable here. I like something like this. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go down to the 30-minute, and guess what? I'm not even looking to add more zones. I'm optimizing these zones again. A lot of times there's going to be a couple times where you can add a couple zones, but most of the time you can just optimize what you already have. And sometimes that might be splitting them up into 2 zones, or it might be making it bigger, smaller, whatever it is. You just have to ask yourself, what is price doing? And here you can clearly see on a smaller time frame prices like this, and it's actually a little bit bigger. Versus down here, I actually, we could do something like this and split it up into 2 different ones. However, However, when you have two zones this close, I just tend to delete the one that's not as strong, just simply because I need some room to trade. Now, I would go through and I'd optimize all these. I feel like something up here, probably want to pull this up. This would probably turn into something like this, and you'd probably add one more. But again, for the sake of this video, I'm just going to kind of speed through it. And then right now where price is at currently, I pulled this zone back so far that I can't see, so I'm just gonna re-add it just super quickly. Now I'm gonna go down to the 15-minute and I'm actually ready to get my entries. So all I do is I wait for price to push above these levels, and then I'm entering a buy. I'm tucking my stop loss just below the zone. If you want to be safe, you can tuck it below some of the previous market structure, but a lot of times, like if you can see down here, if price is gonna push down this far, typically it's gonna push down into this market structure anyway, so I like to just be here so I don't have to target as much. And guys, I just shoot for a 1-to-1. Sounds crazy? That is literally all I do. Shoot for a 1-to-1, boom, it would have hit right here. Now, down here, we would have obviously had a loss because price pushed down, it closed below, targeted here, targeted a 1-to-1, which would have resulted in a loss. Did we panic? Are we freaking out? Absolutely not, because look, right when we lose in this specific scenario, and these are with bad non-optimal zones, we entered a buy right after, boom, targeted a 1-to-1, and boom, won the trade. Come down here, notice how price didn't close. Yes, it pushed below, but it didn't close, so we waited. And this, yes, this is a big bullish close to the upside, but it didn't push from below to the above. It's like over here where price pushed below to above, we would have got in. However, here we wouldn't have, because price came down, touched the level, and then reversed off of it. Very, very different. We come over here, we would have gotten to the small little buy once price closed above, targeted a 1-to-1, and looky there, would have had a nice win. Very, very easy win. Same thing here, boom, price closed below, come here looking for a 1-to-1, and price would have hit it. Guys, this is insane how trading can be. And notice it's because I did my support and resistance the right way. So right here, we're targeting a 1-to-1. And now this isn't flashy. We're on the 15-minute, but look, over the course of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades, we won 5 out of 6 trades. Not only that, this is 5% positive, or we won 5, lost 1. That is a lot of money. And that is over the course from Tuesday to Monday. That is a week worth of trading, 6%. If you did 6% a month with $1 million in funded capital, oh my gosh, that's $60,000 a month. We just did 6% in a week, trading so simple. Literally, we just optimize support and resistance, and then we're trading in between the levels. That's as simple of a strategy as you guys need. Now, the most crucial step is step number 4, and most traders skip this step. You have to build evidence that your strategy works. And this means going through a season of live trading on a demo account and journaling it very, very strictly. You're not going to change a single thing about your strategy. You're just going to take a bunch of trades and basically just start building your reps over and over and over again. And you're going to do this to build confidence so you can have evidence that your strategy works. Because if I just teach you a strategy and then you go and try to do it, you're not going to have confidence. You're going to switch things around. But if you have months and months of evidence that it works, you're going to approach trading a live account very, very differently. And when you're not trading live, you can go back and back test and take notes on your strategy. Now, the key to this evidence part is you have to journal every trade thoroughly. If you want more information on this, join our free Discord. It's in the description, and I will give you access to the journal that I personally recommend all of my students for completely free. And also, for some of you guys who don't have access to a lot of capital, during this time of building your evidence, I want you guys to be saving up some money. My goal for you is over the course of a month, let's say 4 to 6 weeks, I want you to save up $150 to $1,000 because that's going to bring us to step number 5. After 4 to 6 weeks, you're now going to have the confidence to take this to the next level, getting your first funded account. If you head over to claritytraders.com, you can get access to a $200,000 account, which is the amount that I recommend for all traders. Now, again, depending on your financial situation, you might have to play the ladder game where basically you start off with the $5,000, you trade, you pass it, you take the profits you take from your first payout, and then you put it into a $10,000 account, $25,000 account, and then so on and so on. You basically build your way to $200,000. Now, this process takes a little bit of time, but it's 100% worth it. claritytraders.com also has the cheapest and easiest challenges to pass, so I definitely recommend going over and getting your accounts from there. And the reason I recommend starting with $200,000 is because this is such an easy amount of capital to make $10,000 a month with. It might take you a little bit to actually get this amount of capital, but once you have $200,000 in trading capital, all it takes is 1 to 2 trades a month to hit that 5% goal, which will give you $10,000 $10,000 month after month. This is the biggest mistake that most traders make. They try to flip these small accounts and they try to make as much money as they can every single trade, versus what professional traders are doing is we're trying to get access to as much capital as we can so we don't have to have all that stress. We don't have to risk our whole account every single time just to make a certain amount of money. This way, there's no anxiety involved. You simply are just doing what you've built the confidence to do. You're taking your entries, you're shooting for a small percentage, and I recommend you guys shoot for 2 to 3% a week. And if you can do that, you're gonna be making anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 every single month. One key tip for this phase is do not switch your strategy. You just spent 4 to 6 weeks building evidence, building confidence that your strategy works. Now that you know it works, don't switch a thing. You're gonna have some losing days, you're gonna have some losing weeks. Understand that it will all play out over a period of time, and you're gonna start winning more than you're gonna start losing, and you're gonna start ultimately understanding the markets better, which is the biggest thing. If you guys want to make your first $10,000 a month, fall in love with the process. Don't worry about the money. If you just start becoming the best trader possible, taking the best entries, once you guys get to this funded level, it's going to be so easy. Just rinse and repeat over and over and over. Now, once you guys are consistently making $10,000 a month, I hope you start reinvesting some of that into getting more capital, because if you can do that with 200,000, imagine if you build your funded capital all the way up to $1 million. You know, 2 to 3% there is 20 to 30K, and that's just in one trade. One good month with that much funding can literally set you up for the rest of the year. And there you have it. This is my complete strategy to making your first $10,000 a month trading. Stay disciplined, traders. I'll see you in the next video.